Good afternoon. Just a wrap up of the council work session and the council meeting for the city of Grand Rapids. The work session this afternoon was pretty informative. What we had Tom Saxog, Senator Saxog, and Representative Anzelks in talking about legislative update down at the Capitol, and actually Northeast Minnesota and Grand Rapids in particular came out very well from a legislative standpoint on some of the activities down there. We were fortunate that they were able to repeal the Central School Commission. We expanded our PUC term limits that takes legislative action from 3 to 4 years. They got some money for the areas, $300,000 for the city of Cohasset, $250,000 for the city of La Prairie, $3.89 million for the Rife Center, $200,000 of additional money for soil remediation at the Rife Center, $100,000 for the gun club, the transfer and the movement of the gun club from their current space due to the magnetation construction. They got some biorefinery developments in place for UPM Kumani as they look at biofuels going out into the future. And then they secured some funding for Itasca Community Promises. I think their goal this year was promises made, promises kept to Northeast Minnesota. Also this afternoon we had Kathy Annette and Mike Johnson come in, just a little overview of the role that Blandin Foundation plays in the community and the great support that they give not only the city but the county and other organizations, from whether it's employment opportunities, educational opportunities, or leadership development. The Blandin Foundation has been there for years and years and years, and they've been and become an integral part of the city of Grand Rapids and the surrounding areas. This evening at our council meeting at the start, we had Officer Sean Patrick Pomplin was sworn in, so welcome on board. Daryl Hoekstra from Waste Management came in and talked about 2 recipients of college scholarships. And then Julie Kennedy, as she will be doing at all of our council meetings, gave an update on the construction projects that are going on this spring in the city of Grand Rapids, the primary one being the upgrade of Crystal Lake Boulevard around Ice Lake as it relates to the car show and the fair coming up, how we're coordinating all these activities so that it is completed in a timely manner so that we will not have any interruptions with those 2 events. Under the consent agenda, we did some hiring at Park and Rec, the golf course. We agreed to accept a resignation of Ashley Kolka from Arts and Culture and replaced her with acceptance by Mike Davies. And we awarded a project in the amount of for some authorizations of payment for easements on Crystal Lake Boulevard. So we did approve a change order related to the restriping of 5th Street out here. That's going to be in place for a couple of years, and we will get feedback on that looking at 2017 when that comes up for a full project for consideration. We then will have the information available to say, does it make sense to go down to singles with 1 turning lane and bike lanes and parking on 5th Street or not? So far the feedback's been very positive, and we're happy that we've got that in place. So if you're out there and you see that change from a striping standpoint, now you know why. We'll be looking at that for the next 2 years. Marcia Anderson was in and did an update from the library. Once again, the library continues to be up in numbers of participation. We are very happy with the results and the work that's done over there, and it's becoming more and more of a notable asset, not only to the city of Grand Rapids, but the surrounding area from a library assisting and all the operating efficiencies and opportunities that they provide to the residents of the area. Bob Cahill come in under the golf course, look for some service agreements to get some temporary people out there on the senior level that would go out there and ranger 1 day a week for privileges that then gives them the opportunity to golf. And that's a great win-win, not only for the city of Grand Rapids, but for that family or person that's coming in providing that services. We purchased a new vehicle in the police department. Jim Denny went out through Grand Rapids GM, and we're getting a Tahoe, which is new to us. We've had Durangos and some different ones, but because of some structural changes in the Durangos with where the shifting council resides in the middle versus up on the column, we went with a Tahoe this year to open that up so that the electrical equipment and the computers and stuff could sit in that middle council area. That award was for $43,000 plus some applicable fees and taxes that would go with that. Let's just finish up quickly under administration. Along with Sean coming on board, June 2nd, we'll see Justin Edmondson come on board as a new police officer, replacing an officer that retired last effective day with Mr. Bill Giese was today, and we wish him well in his retirement. And Justin Edmondson will be replacing him, and then Mr. Gregory Lease will be coming on board June 11th, and that, at that point in time, will fill out the PD from a staffing standpoint of where we needed to be. We had a dual one. We were looking at roof replacements at the Civic Center and the Fire Hall. We approved the roof replacement at the Fire Hall for $20,880, but the replacement bid for the Civic Center we rejected, and the reason was that we had initially thought that we could fix that roof for about $200,000. The bids came in at about $400,000. We rejected them. We're going to look at some alternative ways that we can get that project completed, bringing the cost down closer to that $200,000 level. And with that, you know, hold the line on what the expenses are out there. The last thing that we did other than paying the bills was we had Dura Hawkstra in once again under Waste Management. Per contract, they have the ability to come in based on CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index for the Upper Midwest region. They can request a rate increase to their fees, and what they had requested, it has to be submitted in May, was for a 3% increase. But as the council look at a CPI index, it doesn't look like those numbers. So we wanted further clarification on how those numbers are derived. They have until August in order to have a final vote on it, but it needed to come to council in May. And we tabled it for 2 weeks, hoping that we can get the information on how they arrived at the CPI index number that they have, so that we can better understand that from a council standpoint. So nothing out of the ordinary. There's a lot of times that we are not clear from a council standpoint. We want further clarification, so we ask that we go out and get that further information. In this case, Waste Management and our city staff will work together to make sure that the council is appraised and comfortable with why we're approving a rate increase. And we finished off paying our bills, $574,982 and some change. And with that, we look forward to seeing everyone on June 9th.